Hi, here's an old barrel we turned into a bar. It's pretty easy to do and it came out pretty good, I think. So there's a few steps that'll help you save time and energy if you know what you're doing here. So, first thing we have to do is this is an old barrel. You've got your straps and they're all floppy loose, so you've got to secure those. Second, the staves will all come apart, so you have to secure the whole thing so you can end up with this. And then it opens like that. So I like when I do my door, I like to line up, that's called a bung hole. I like to have that so when you have a natural handle to open the bar and close it. So the first step to this is going to be securing these straps. So start out with it, you're going to need number 8 finish washer. You're going to need number 8 3/4 long wood screws. You want to use wood screws because once we drill through the metal, you're going to actually be attaching to the wood back here. And the wood's going to, if you use a metal screw, it'll strip out. So you want to make sure you use a wood screw. And then your bit. To drill through these heavy-duty straps, you need a 5/32 metal hard drill bit. You're going to go through a few of these bits, so to try to save that, you're going to want to get some honing oil, and that's going to help you cut through there quicker and not have as much wear and tear on your bit. So I pour it into a little jug here so I can dip my bit into it easily. So the first thing I do is I got to drill these holes. So whenever you're drilling or working with this kind of stuff, you're going to have metal shavings, so you're going to want to wear some safety goggles. These don't look like it, but they got safety metal in here. So you always wear goggles when you're working with this kind of stuff. So first thing you have to do is you have to lay these out. So what I do is, since there's so many of these you're going to be cutting, I take a piggy stick, and you'll always want to do it in the center here. So I make my center holes here. See that, how they all line up? And then I get my marker. So when I'm cutting these, where the staves come together, there's going to be a little crease. So you don't want to put your screw hole where those staves are, because when you run your wood bit in there, they won't hold, they'll strip out. So make sure you're in the center. So when you get in the center here, and then you lay it out, and you mark them out like that. Go all the way around and do your layout. Make sure you're going to get in the middle of the staves. So when you're going to drill this is a 3/8 drive motor. You want something heavy duty like it, because if you use a little battery operated drill and stuff, it's not going to be strong enough to drill through this metal. This metal is pretty hard. So you dip it in your honing oil. Here's where my mark is. And I was in there. Yeah, I didn't go into the wood because I want to save that and make sure that I've got something to grip with my wood screw. Here's my washer attached. Here's my screw. Goes on there like that. Drill. And there you're done. And it seems kind of easy, but you can imagine when you go all the way around, it's a little bit labor intensive, but to me it's about the hardest part. So once that's all done, now you've got your wood here, and it's not a finished wood, so what you want to do is put a finish on it. So for me, I just use a tung oil, and I use a double-aught steel wool. It comes out really nice. It's easy to apply. You just put it on there and you rub it in, and it gives you your color. So as far as the screws go, I didn't like the silver screws, I like them black. So I made this little piece of styrofoam, and I lay my screws on there, poke them in there, and I lay my washers in there, and then I get a good color paint, black paint. I sprayed it outside, and then I've got the color I want. I also spray my gauges because I want everything black, and my shelf brackets. I want that black also. So the next step is we want to make the shelf. So I start out, this is the chalkboard, I tried cardboard, but it wasn't rigid enough. So I used a chalkboard. So you lay it out on top of your barrel, get your marking pen, and then you just trace around the top. Always coming the outside, which you wouldn't go arc from the inside anyways. Okay. So there's your circle. I didn't do a great job, but I'd do a little bit better job before I cut it, but you can see what I'm doing. So then you take a jigsaw, cut your circle. Done with that, you end up with, once you cut that out, you end up with this. Once you've got that done, you've got your shelf here, but it's not gonna just fit in here. It's too big. And also you're not gonna be able to reach in and get your bottles and things. So you wanna cut some of that off. So what you do is you take that, come in, I measure in 3 inches. Make a line across there. Okay? And then you're going to want to cut that. You don't want to use the jigsaw to cut that. You want a good straight cut. I use a chop saw or a power saw. And then when you're done with that, cut that, you end up with this. And when you do it, your finish stage, you're gonna want to run a sticky sandpaper. You're gonna run a piece of sandpaper on that and get a nice clean edge. So what I've done here is I've got a scattering piece. As you can see, I've got barrels all over the place, so I'm gonna use this over and over. But you could, if you're doing one barrel, you could just use your stock. So, we are going to use this. So what happens is, here's my piece of wood here that I've cut and painted. So now you're gonna mount that. Here's your barrel. It's been cut over. There's your bung hole, you open it. Here's your brackets here. You're going to use at least 4 of them. You want to use the 3 inch. So you got 4 brackets up here. You come up that high, and then you mount your brackets. Make sure you put a little torpedo level so these are straight. And you mount first. And then to be sure, a 2-foot level is too big and a torpedo level is too small. So I made this stick about 16 inches and you lay your torpedo on top of it. And then you can lay that on sheet. Let me grab that side. You lay that on there and you make sure that your stuff is level. Like that. So once you've secured your brackets straight, you take your shelf, that you've painted, and you mount it. And then you have to screw from underneath and mount it. Once that's done, you end up with your finished product. Once again, I'm going to say again right after this, we're going to show us cutting this barrel out. Make sure you bend your hinges because it's rounded. Like I said, try to lay it out where your bundle holes so you have a handle. There you have it. See you next time.